Hi, everyone. This is Sarah from Health by Sarah, formerly known as Politically Incorrect Health. Today, I want to talk to you about what Moxa is and how it can be used to treat PCOS. That is one of the things that I am currently doing to treat my PCOS. So, Moxa is short for moxibustion, and the Latin name for it is called Artemisia argi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it can be used to treat a number of health conditions, including PCOS, and it is basically the burning of the herb called mugwort. So some of you might have heard of that herb. One of the downsides of using it is that you will smell like weed after using it, and of course it is not marijuana or weed, so you just smell like it, and if people see you burning it or smell it, they might think you're doing something else. So you might want to try to do that in a more private area. It's completely legal. There's nothing wrong about using it, and it actually helps a lot of health conditions, as I said before. So what is the purpose of Moxa or moxibustion? It's used to strengthen the blood, it's used to stimulate the flow of qi and maintain general health. And there have actually been studies of how it's been used specifically to treat PCOS. You can find it on PubMed. There have been 30 cases of PCOS that have been treated with Moxa specifically. So it's actually pretty interesting, and you can Google that and find that information there. So what does it look like? Here is a brand new stick of it. It's very long, probably closer to a foot long. And it's all in Chinese pretty much. And it says, one of the disclaimers is you want to beware of moisture, and you want to make sure that you keep it dry. So if you're going to use it, make sure you keep it away from any moisture. And usually you can just simply get that from your acupuncturist, but you can also buy it directly from an herb store or online, and it usually comes in a big box like this. So it's very cheap to buy it that way, and it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like 10 sticks come in a whole box, and I didn't spend very much money on this at all, so it's very economical. And how do you use it? So you're going to need a match, and so you're going to light the match, and you light either end of it. It doesn't matter which one. So if you start using this end, just continue on using it. And so I can't show you right now because I'm inside and I don't want my apartment to smell. But once you light it, it'll start smoking. And then you want to put it directly on that acupuncture point. Now for me, my acupuncturist instructed me to do it in the center, lowermost part of my abdomen for 5 minutes, and then the center, lowermost part of my lower back. So the very end of your lower back and the very end of your abdomen. 5 minutes on each side every single day. And for you, it might be different. So I'm not recommending that you use this for yourself. I'm just sharing what my experience is, and maybe that can possibly help you. But before you do anything, make sure you talk to your doctor, make sure you talk to your acupuncturist, because I'm not a doctor, but I'm happy to share my own experience. So once it starts smoking, you're going to want to hold it very close, as close as you possibly can to those points without burning yourself. It can get pretty hot, so make sure you're very careful about doing that. And another thing you're going to want to do is change into clothing, maybe workout clothes or clothes you don't care about smelling. Obviously, once you put your clothes in the wash, the smell is going to go away. But normally I just wear whatever I've worked out in or about to work out in, and it doesn't matter if those clothes are going to smell or not. So I do that. And another thing you might need is a hair tie. And a shower cap, especially if you're not planning on washing your hair right away, because that smell sticks to your hair and to your skin. So that is one of the downsides of it, as I said before. So how it has helped me. I've used it a number of times in the past, but I've actually used it on a different acupuncture point. I'll try my best to describe that point to you. So it is on either one of your big toes, the very inside of your big toe, like basically the tip of your toenail towards the outside of your toe, inside the center of your body. So I hope you understand what I mean by that. You basically hold it there, and well, that was specifically told to me because one of the things I deal with PCOS, I haven't in a while, thankfully, but in the past I have dealt with heavy bleeding, and obviously that is a danger. It can become a danger over time because you can get anemic very fast, and that's why I have gotten anemic in the past a number of times. So I definitely need to watch out for becoming anemic, and acupuncturists have told me that point in the past to help to stop the bleeding immediately, and I will say that it actually works pretty well. It helped me to stop within maybe a day or two most of the time, especially when the acupuncturist put it directly on the needle. That is another way of doing it. You don't necessarily have to hold the stick right close to that point on your body. If the acupuncturist does that in their own office, I think they will cut off a portion of the moxa and stick it to the end of the acupuncture needle, and they will actually light it, and it will smoke the whole time of your session. So I've had acupuncturists put a needle on those points in my toes and light moxa, and you know, it helps me to halt the bleeding almost immediately, which is really amazing. And so now I have moved. I no longer lived in the same area, and I'm going to a different acupuncturist, and she's actually really good. 28 years practicing, and I'm already seeing results with her. So she had me do this on my own. She doesn't actually light moxa in her office, but she is the one that told me about the lower abdomen and the lower back points. And I started doing that. I hadn't gotten my period in a while, and no matter what your goals are in life, if you're trying to conceive or you know, just trying to have a normal life or just trying to have a normal cycle, it's important for every woman to have a normal cycle because that is a sign of health, and it usually women who have regular cycles do not have an imbalance in hormones. I'm not going to say that every time, but usually that's a sign of good health. So when I started to go see her, I hadn't had my period in a while, and she had me start doing that, and it started my period within a couple of days, I would say. And it was actually a normal length, and that's another thing that I have dealt with in the past, not only heavy bleeding, but a long length of time of bleeding. So that's definitely been helping me, doing the 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes on either side, and also going to acupuncture in general. I hope this session has been helpful and informational on moxa. If anyone has any questions, I will do my best to answer your questions or research them on my own and get back to you. Feel free to comment on this video, and I'm also going to be uploading it to YouTube as well. So feel free to ask your questions, and have a great day.